What up, y'all? Happy Monday. Happy Wow Monday. My name is TK Trinidad. We are going to talk all things wow. We have a new champion, and you wouldn't believe who it is. Coming up next.
This is Penelope Pink, and you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
What up, what up, what up? TK Trinidad here. Wow. Wow is wowing for this last episode of Wow, but I'm not alone. Christina, how are you doing?
Hi, doing good. Wow is definitely wowing
That
today.
part. Before we get into all the things, what was like the most, or how would you rate Wow this last episode?
This last episode took me for various spins. Not only the championship, but a couple ways some people won.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it was up there in the roller coaster of emotions for me.
I agree. Yeah,
rating it pretty high.
Yeah, this episode was very it is kind of one of those things that if you were going to end like a season, this would be like the episode to end the season to come back, because it's just like, wait, what?
And then everyone's like, what?
Yeah, a lot of things happening. So let's get into our very first match, Genesis and Jesse Jones. So we were talking about this last week. So we had Genesis and Jesse Jones, and what was supposed to be happening is that if Jesse Jones wins against Genesis, then she'd be entered into the Champions Challenge. But the question was, well, what if Genesis wins?
And then Genesis just has to go back to the locker room and sit down.
Right, which seems
I would be upset.
Yeah, not the fairest thing. So what did you think about this match?
I thought it was a good match. There was lots of emotion. I saw the daggers in the eyes of Jesse Jones when she came out. She was ready to go. She immediately coming down with a takedown by Jesse to Genesis. There was a lot of good leg drops also. Genesis then would counter, got her in a triangle chokehold, which I thought was really impressive. But Jesse Jones got her foot on the ropes. Really interestingly, it was going kind of back and forth for me. I was like, wait, who's gonna win? What's because they were kind of both giving me a lot of moves and then countering each other. And then I was just like, they were kind of like on the same level. So I was like, for a while, I wasn't really sure who was gonna take this one, but some interestingness did happen. A lot of interestingness did happen towards the end when our good friend Americana, she's just trying to live by the rules, as some people are. There was a near fall, but Americana pointed out that Jesse Jones was holding on to the tights of Genesis, got the attention of the ref, so that they counted out Jesse Jones, visibly upset. What did you think about that portion?
Well, you could even take it back a little bit more. The fact that Ice Code and Exodus didn't bother to help, because they've cheated a little bit throughout their matches with WoW, and the fact that they didn't bother to help is a kind of a telling sign, as far as, well, I mean, a telling sign that if they were helping before and now they're not helping, it's like, wait, what's going on? It would have been different if they never helped and, they were on the Americana level where okay, we don't cheat. Our group doesn't cheat.
I just want a clean match.
Right. So, and then, it would have been helpful if they showed before they went out, like what their discussion was. Like, did Genesis say, look, I don't want any of y'all's help? Or was there anything, or were they not talking to each other? It's kind of almost like those girl groups or boy bands.
Yeah.
Just going out there.
Did they give a cold shoulder? Were they kind of like annoyed with each other before coming out?
Exactly. So I kind of, want to know that dynamic. And then, we have Genesis. And I agree with you, her and Jesse Jones, they were definitely going at it to really great competitors. And I don't recall Genesis was trying to cheat throughout some of the match, but we already know what Jessie Jones is capable of.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's prepared for that. But yeah, the hand on the tights was a great thing. But now watching back, wow, and seeing, and we'll get to the end, because Americana, Jessie Jones, and the mystery competitor, they're all from like old school WoW. So I know Americana is above board and all this other stuff, but did she be above board because she knew that her fellow OG WoW competitor was also?
Interesting. Interesting take. Interesting take.
I don't know. It just seems, because David, the new competitor, Americana, they all have history. So I don't know that, you can't sneak her in the building, and the new competitor's from Vegas, so it's not like she was from down the street, so she had to make a trip. So just saying. Yeah,
Ooh.
like I said, the referee took Americana's not advice, kind of showing, and
just her cue. I don't know.
Her cue, and Genesis wins, but it was kind of like it was one of those things where it's like you do win something, and it's like, oh, okay, I get nothing for this. Like
that was kind of weird. Wait, but like if you would win, so say, taking it back to say, Jessie Jones did pin Genesis even though she was pulling on her tights. How would you feel if you had won with like a little technicality bending of the truth situation?
This is like the the quintessential what you teach your kids versus what the world is like. It's by any means necessary, and you'll figure it out later on. The sauce, as it all pans out. But we know what she's capable of. So
True.
David knows what she's capable of. So it's kind of, I always find it fascinating. I mean, obviously, there's that blur between reality and storytelling and stuff like that. But like how everybody sees the cheat happening, right? And the commentators,
right?
and then you have a gorilla position because it's television, right? So it's technically, and the ref has like an earpiece. So technically, like, even though the ref missed it, everybody else didn't miss it.
Someone saw it.
Right.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm a fan of, as you can see, the OG Eddie. So if we have to lie, cheat, and steal, that just might be what we have to do. Just in my opinion. But
to get the win. And again, we don't know really. I mean, Americana is presenting herself as the above board, but I mean, Jessie and David might know, but I don't know that woman. I don't know what she's thinking or what she's planning for. So, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that. But like we said, Genesis came out on top of that win and got not a damn thing.
Right? Like I won, and then I'm gonna go sit down in the back, have a cold beverage.
Yeah, and you can't even like be
put my feet up.
Yeah, I can't even be friendly with your teammates because they're kind of mean mugging you. So it's just like, well, where do you go?
It's like, okay, cool.
There it is. So that takes us to number 2, Classmaster and Gen Z, Jennifer Flores. Smart. Yeah. Fun fact, which you guys didn't know, and I am here for it as a fellow seamstress. Samantha Smart apparently sews all her stuff, and that suit is really bang. And it takes a little. So here's the thing, and it's not to take the impressiveness away from people who sew stuff, but if you have a pattern, it's a lot easier. It's kind of like you put the pattern on the cloth a certain way, you cut out the pattern, you sew it a certain way, and voila. A little things here and there. If you do a freehand and you're making clothing, that's
just like a freehand.
Yeah, that's a whole other beast in itself. Like you're creating, like, you're creating your own pattern. That's a whole nother beast in itself. Again, both amazing things. I can't freehand. I'm a pattern girl through and through. But the fact that would be my next question. So for anybody who's watching, who
show us your patterns.
Show us your patterns, and you get the pattern of the store. It's not that hard. But anyways, much respect. It's still hard to make it look that good, because I wouldn't have guessed. Because some people, when they sew stuff, it's like, yeah, I can tell you put that together. And
oh yeah, no, like, mine would have been, one arm was gonna be like this, and mine would have been a mess.
Yes. So sewing, much appreciation to Samantha Smart at the beginning of the match. The end of the match, not so much. So what did you think of this match?
I thought it was really cool that they brought in, they started discussing Jennifer Flores' training. They brought up her training. I think they said she's from Texas.
Yes.
From Texas. So they brought up her training in Lucha Libre, which I thought was cool. And you can tell in the ring, I mean, her technical ability, really quick, really mirrors kind of what we see in the Lucha Libre realm. So, and clear fan favorite. Because you can see everyone's cheering for Jennifer. Classmaster did not care who they were cheering for, clearly slamming Jennifer into the turnbuckle, suplex from Classmaster to Jennifer. Jennifer Flores went for a crossbody, but was caught midair, and then at that point you can again kind of see the difference in the height and the size, where you're like, oh yeah, no, Classmaster is at least 6 feet for sure. Caught her midair, dropped her into a backbreaker, which things were not looking good, but Flores with a schoolboy roll up and got the win. So I was really, really happy for her.
Yeah, this was a great match. But before I kind of give you my thing for all that, it's funny because it's, at the end, so fast forwarding to the end, Steffi Slays comes out. I'm like, we all know y'all's friends, so why don't you come out with him?
Right?
Just saying.
Yeah.
And now if you and I kind of knew this, but I had to just double check before I said this. So if you guys think that Jennifer Flores looks familiar, she goes by Jasmine Allure in the indie realm. So I was like, I know this person. So I just had to double check because I didn't want to be wrong. Great. Definitely agree with you. Great match. A lot of high flying. Did we say who won in this one?
Jennifer Flores.
Jennifer Flores. Another thing that David said was that AJ Mendez introduced Jennifer Flores to WoW, which is an interesting thing because, and this is taking it out of the WoW universe a little bit. If you see CM Punk, he did a picture with Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne Perez is from Texas too, as well too. So Jen Flores, Roxanne Perez. I'm trying to make it all come together, but it might not. But it might.
It's all coming together.
All coming together. Yeah, it was a great match. Classmaster, it's like she has it in size, but it's like she hasn't she hasn't been able to fully utilize it yet. It's kind of like at 80%. She's almost there.
Like unlocked
yes.
The true class.
Full potential. I got what you said there, the class thing.
Yeah.
To get the full potential of everything. So, but it kind of goes to the very end. We get Jen Flores wins the match. I guess Samantha Smart wasn't very happy, and she went like,
oh no.
Like I don't even know. Like, thankfully, I didn't have to endure this, but I've heard stories about how, like, your nuns and teachers used to actually have permission to
like hit you with like objects
and stuff like that. Yeah. So I guess Samantha took it super old school and decided to break a ruler again in the back of Jennifer Flores, which is not funny, but it is kind of funny. Like, who does that?
And then started choking Steffi.
Yeah.
You said
And it's
what?
like who carries a ruler around? That's one thing just randomly.
Just have one just
let's-
on your person.
Yeah, and a wooden ruler at that, because if she had, I wonder what would have been even worse. A metal ruler, because I'm lying. I do have a ruler, but I have it for my other business. But if I didn't have that business, then I wouldn't have a ruler. So
I can't say
what
I
would
have a
you-
ruler.
yeah, the average person doesn't have like because you also have a ruler on your phone. Fun fact.
Oh, that's true.
What made her decide to carry around a wooden ruler and then break it on
For this purpose. For this purpose. This was premeditated.
That part. And we could actually skip to this part. It's right before the main event where we have Samantha Smart and she's talking to Classmaster and G.I. Jane, which we hadn't seen in a while. So it's kind of funny how G.I. Jane felt like she was deserving of that mystery spot. It's like, bro.
I was like, okay, I mean, no, I wouldn't want to tell her no. I wouldn't want to be the one that tells her no. But I was like, but where have you been?
Yeah, that part. So then it's kind of like almost Samantha's fault because technically she's kind of their agent. So like she hasn't put them in the best of light. More G.I. Jane than Classmaster because Classmaster is new. Mm-hmm. G.I. Jane's been there for a while and it's kind of like she's not in that picture. So what you doing, Samantha?
What you doing, Samantha? I don't know. Maybe they changed management is another angle.
Maybe. We'll see what happens in the next episode with that. But that brings us to another new, I believe, another new WoW superhero. We had Adriana Gambino and Ruby Haze.
Rebel Haze.
Rebel Haze. I'm really Rebel looking Haze. At Rebel. But
I was thinking of Ruby. I was giving she gives Ruby stuff.
Yes.
But
Yes, maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is. So what did you think about this match?
I thought it was good. I was liking the interaction between the fans and Rebel. I love a good fan favorite. What can I say? I love a good fan hyping. As much as I love a heel, I do love a good fan just hyping it up because that reminds me of like how I was when I first started watching wrestling. Just like the kind of like the baby face, the one like we're all kind of going for. Yeah. I mean, they started with a lockup in the center, a really nice hip toss from Rebel to Gambino. Gambino really working on Rebel's leg. I was kind of like, ooh, are we going to have an early injury coming? Fans kept on chanting Rebel's name. I kind of thought, I wasn't sure who was going to take it, but I don't know. I kind of felt like even from the beginning, Gambino, just from her experience and just from what I know of her past matches, I was kind of feeling like she was going to take it. And in the end, a chef's kiss did end the match. Gambino did take the win on this one.
Yeah, Gambino did take the win on this one. What I have in my notes is David keeps talking about food. It's like, how often is he going to...
About what?
David keeps talking about the food, and it's like, how often is he going to Adriana's house to eat all this food? And they went on this food tangent, which I love me some Italian food, so kudos to that. But they did mention it could be a setup, which if it were a setup, I feel like Adriana would have been in that secret spot, but she wasn't. So maybe it's the longer game. But if I were doing a setup, that's what I would set it up for. It's like, yo, bro, I've been serving you all this good food. Just FYI, this last meal you had poison in it, and I'm the only one who has
the antidote.
The antidote. So until you put me in this match, I don't know what to tell you. That would have been my play. Like
that would have been TK.
Yeah, like
poisoning people
because you're eating the food.
Any means necessary. I mean, I'm here for any means necessary, but I like the poisoning angle.
Well, I mean, you're coming over for the food. You clearly love my food, so what are we gonna do? So you like you said, Adriana is it comes out the victor on top. So do you think that I guess we can kind of answer this kind of going into the main event. But do you think she's closer to challenging the champion, or do you think she's going to kind of be in that mid card play for a little bit longer? Because this is another win for her. I think this is like win number 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she deserves a chance at the title. Honestly, she's giving us a lot. Not only just wins, but just a lot of impressive moves. And so I feel like she earned the spot. I don't know. That's me though.
We'll see. I kind of like the blackmailing.
Do you like her?
So we'll see.
whatever perpetuates the blackmailing of David.
I mean, I you know, if you're gonna be involved, you might as well be involved all the way. But with being involved, we appreciate you guys so much for your support. This is another way that you can be involved with women's wrestling.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen not knowing what you want to do like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www.talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
I love that commercial.
I know, it makes me laugh every single time. Shout out to Melanie from New York. If you couldn't tell, amazing.
There's the twang.
Yes,
twang and the accent.
The little twang. Amazing actress, amazing personality. So shout out to her for doing us a solid. But that brings us to our main event.
There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. So we have Princess Aussie, The Beast, Tormenta, Penelope Pink, and a mystery guest. So they announced this, and I found this kind of and I don't know, I definitely don't think they did this on purpose, but it's kind of like, you know, you watch NXT Deadline, and the rules were a little bit similar. So every 2 minutes, a new competitor would come into the ring. It wasn't until the final competitor came into the ring that somebody could actually win. So there were times in this match that there was a pinfall, and it's like, no, everybody's not in the ring yet.
Like, no.
I'm fighting.
At that point, I'm like, dude, do you conserve energy? Do you try to like what would your strategy be? I don't know, because what if I'm tired? Poisoning?
No, that part. My strategy be like, I'm gonna hang out in the cut. Like, we have 2 more competitors. Okay, come on, I'm gonna fight you off. Like, I'm gonna hang out in the cut because I want to wait. And
who used to do that?
There's quite a few people who used to do.
I mean, probably quite a few, because I'm like, where'd you come from? All bright eye and bushy tails.
Especially when you have so many. I mean, this one you only had 4, so it's not as bad. But yeah, I would have definitely waited in the cut. So here are our 4 competitors. And if you look in the very well, take us through. What did you think of this match?
I had my snacks ready. I was at the edge of my little seat. I was wondering whenever Beast is involved, I'm just like, when is she gonna come out? But first, to start us off, just to wet our beak a little bit, was Princess Aussie and Penelope Pink. Current champ Princess Aussie versus Penelope Pink, starting us off. You can feel the animosity through the screen. They hate each other.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You can feel it. I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, they're going back and forth. I mean, one was not doing better than the other. I mean, they're both going in on each other. And then 2 minutes in was Tormenta. Aussie immediately taking down Tormenta. Like, she just had so much built up aggression. She was like, everyone can get this energy right now.
Very
Which
much
I
so.
was here for it. I was here for it. Tormenta and Penelope Pink teaming up against Princess Aussie, and then Penelope taking Tormenta to the corner, jamming her boot into Tormenta's neck. So people were coming for each other's necks. People were coming for each other's hair. Claws came out for sure. And then my girl, my beast, no beef with the beast ever. I like, you know, those kind of people that like, they kind of scare you, but you like them, but like they scare you. That's my bird. She scares me.
It's like, I like you over there. Like, I like you, but over there, not nowhere close to you.
Like, oh yeah, like I like her, but like she definitely scares me a little bit. I mean, when Beast came in, I mean, she took everyone down. She took everyone down, and we saw some really impressive, two really impressive things that I saw. One, a triple German suplex.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, Beast, how did you practice that?
That part. I know. How do you like?
You get two of your friends. You're like, hey TK, hey friend, I just need a triple German suplex for my match tomorrow. Or was it in the like impromptu? Like she saw her chance and her adrenaline was kicking.
I don't know, but it looked amazing.
It looked amazing.
Yes.
Princess Aussie and the Beast have a stare down for a few seconds. I really liked it. It was giving me The Rock and Stone Cold when they just would come to the middle of the ring and just stare at each other. You could feel the stare. I was like, oh dear. Oh dear, as I clutch my pearls. Wasn't sorry?
But unfortunately, they didn't really we'll see what happens, because unfortunately they didn't really get to like actually like duke it out.
Right, like they didn't give me like that Rock Stone Cold, the like back and forth, like they did that stare down. I did, like you said, I did think there was going to be a little more tussle, if you will. Tormenta said, it's not, I'm still here, jamming her foot into Princess Aussie's head. Tormenta with a style splash to Penelope Pink. So I was like, ooh, this is going either way, but also we haven't had the last opponent in, so no one used all their energy up right now. Beast took down Tormenta and Penelope Pink at the same time. So she was just dominating. She was dominating. At this point, pausing right here, I was like, okay, Beast might have this.
Really?
But I can tell no beef with the Beast. So what are your thoughts? Like right here at this point in the match.
I thought that I didn't think she was like, after, even like she did come out really strong, but I thought that I didn't think she was gonna have it. I thought that it
was gonna be someone else.
Yeah, I mean, I realized that this is not a good position for Princess Aussie, clearly, because she started out. So I realized this is not a good look. But I don't know. I wasn't leaning towards anybody, and this is kind of why it made it such a great match. Like, I truly didn't know who was going to come out on top. Part of me wanted Princess Aussie to come out on top because she wanted this challenge. She didn't buck against it. She didn't have time to prepare for whoever this new person is. It almost seems like a setup from David, which is like, now I can understand why a lot of WoW superheroes are not fans of David, because it's like, not only do you put me in last or first, yeah, all these people plus a person that I can't prepare for. So it almost seems like a setup. I'm just saying.
Right, it's like coming out first in the Royal Rumble. You're like, how am I going to go through all these damn people?
Yeah, and it's like, at least
we had some people, but
yeah, and so at least some of the people but it's like somebody you have no. And then from my recollection, I don't think, and you guys let me know in the chat, but I don't think Princess Aussie and our new competitor have ever had a match together. because our new competitor is coming back. So it's just kind of like you have nothing to prepare for, and you're tired. It's kind of like you run like a 5K race, and they're like, okay, well now the real workout starts. Excuse me,
you're like workout. the warm up was the 5K, and you're like, I am done.
Yeah. So so this what made it such a great match, because I truly didn't, for some reason I didn't think that Beast would win, but I didn't know who would be the winner.
Right.
So that's what
you heard. I just want to make sure everyone's up. Beast, that was me. Christina, that said, was rooting for you. That was TK, that said she was not. I just want to make sure everyone's aware. Okay, keep going.
Just saying. So yeah, a lot of great spots. I even there was one I had to send to Kazuza, who's operations manager, to help do the edit for that German suplex was like, wait, what? Because
I rerun that so many times.
Yeah. It felt like there was a missed spot between Penelope and Tormenta, and then I don't know, like that. Then it was kind of like, wait, so what was that supposed to happen? Or was something else supposed to happen? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because there was something that happened, and it might have been the spot, but I don't think so. It looked like there was a missed spot, and this is what they decided on, or I don't know.
Interesting. I'm just gonna decide a triple German.
I
want to know if that is the case. I want to know what was the original plan.
Exactly.
If the triple German suplex was an afterthought.
Exactly. So yeah, that was all well and good.
But not good enough, because we still have one more competitor.
We have one more competitor, because I think even Tormenta tried to do a pinfall, and it was just like, wait, can't do anything.
I know, she like pinned, and everyone just looked at her. That would have been the same. I would have been like, maybe they'll forget, and I just like pin her.
Like, oh yeah, we forgot about that person.
So
that brings us to the fifth person, which is Abilene Maverick.
Abilene Maverick. Whew.
Wow.
Thoughts. Just there. Yeah. Thoughts.
Just there. I mean, it's so crazy because we posted this earlier today. We did I think 2 interviews with Abilene back in the day. And I remember at one point, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think she and Sarah the Rebel went to Scotland to do wrestling like way before the pandemic. And I was wondering about her, and I need to like go back, because I think she was also part of a version of the Fab Four with Lana. So this is very interesting. Again, don't quote me on that, but I believe her and Lana had like some type of partnership. So it's interesting that she came back. They said that she's hailing now from Vegas. But yeah, I kind of, and this would be like archival. This is another thing on top of my idea of just being a bug in the writer's room of all promotions, which I know would never happen. But I would also love to do like a past, present, and future with people who do storylines. So like sit down with David and like talk to him like, okay, well, what was the process to get you to, because he said she made the phone call. Like, come on. That's great for TV. But in real life, nobody's stepping on a WoW set without David's approval. So I kind of want to know the timeline of how this all came to be.
Yeah.
Why he thought of this, and then why he thought, okay, you're coming back and you deserve to be champion. Like, and then I would like to go back in the past as far as like those kind of certain things that like these storyline ideas. And I would love to do that with like Vince and like, they like kind of like go by like story by story of this was my hope for this wrestler, and it happened or it didn't happen, or all those things, because I'm curious almost to get into the mind of like the creators,
creative department. That'll be interesting.
Because I think Beast did deserve to be champion, and what was your reasoning for not making her champion?
Like, I just want to know.
Yeah. I think we both discussed it. I can't remember what your thoughts were, but I was like, I believe that Prince and both, I was definitely way off and wrong. I believe that Princess Aussie would have been champion at least till the
That's
end.
right. That's right.
As like she does, because
Yeah.
she's only had it for 6 weeks.
Yeah, it hasn't been
I
that
feel
long.
like we interviewed Penelope Pink in October, so probably like six to 8 weeks she's been champion. So it's kind of like that's a short reign.
Run. Little blip.
But yeah, what did you think of Miss Abilene, the governor's daughter, Abilene?
The governor's daughter. I mean, I was extremely surprised because I was just like, wait, they're really taking us back. I'm like, wait. So I mean, when she came in, definitely shocked, but didn't leave me shocked for long because she immediately going for some pinfalls, like back up and back. She was like, let me get them while they're tired, which is not a bad, which is a tactic. Some use poison, some use other people's tiredness. Abilene working on Beast's leg. That leg cannot catch a break. People just disrespect Beast's leg so much.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how she got injured initially. So
exactly, yeah.
One of those things where
if you know the weakness, then you're gonna keep.
Yeah, you're gonna keep going to that weakness.
I just imagining the leg like those TikTok videos where like the object has like a mouth and eyes, and I just feel like the leg just being like, stop. Like, what did I do? But double clothesline by Beast and Tormenta as well. But it all happened so quick. It almost just happened too quick for me. Like I didn't see, like I would have liked to see a little more something. A little more.
Well,
a little more.
Yes and no, but again, if you're the last person,
it depends. No, if I was the last person coming in, please.
Yeah, your goal is to finish this up, because you're the last person coming in, so that you're not as tired as everybody else. So your goal is to finish this up as soon as possible. And I think I tweeted tweeted like, yo, Abilene, that was a real gangster move. You better watch out for yourself in the parking lot, because if I were Princess Aussie, I don't think she's capable of that. Maybe Penelope Pink, I would be pissed. And actually, Penelope was pissed, because if you remember, she went after Abilene and the ref caught her midair.
Yes. Like, oh my god.
That was hilarious.
I mean, I would be mad too. I'm like, you just got here, which makes sense, but they did what did they say? Oh, announcer said that they said that Abilene stole it. Do you think she stole it? Like they phrased it that way. Or did she get it fair and squaresies?
Well, technically she got it fair. It is no holds bar. So technically she got it fair, because she just capitalized on Penelope's work. Yeah. So it wasn't it wasn't like she like kicked out the ref, or she held the tights of Princess Aussie or any of that stuff.
True.
She just capitalized on that moment, and it was kind of like, this is a totally random reference, but if you remember, Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez, I think was it Canelo Alvarez, or was it it wasn't Oscar. Oh, I forgot the other boxer. It wasn't Canelo. Victor Ortiz, I believe it was. And they were going at it, and Victor hit him up with a cheap, and I might be getting my boxers mixed up, but Victor hit him up with a cheap shot, and then rounds happened, and Mayweather's like, you always have to protect yourself, and Ortiz's hands were down, and the bell rang, and within like half a second after the bell rang, Mayweather hit Ortiz. He got knocked out. Wasn't a complete knockout. He ended up getting back up, but still, it was kind of a cheap shot, but it wasn't, because as soon as the bell rings, you always have to
bell rung.
The bell rang. So it's just like,
that's true.
So with that being said, and that was a totally, I'm going to go and look up the story now because I totally butchered the story and I think I have names off and all the things, but it was such a good thing because it's like he was well within his right. So going back to Abilene, she was well within her right.
Mm-hmm.
It was Penelope for not almost having the ring awareness to clock where Abilene was. Because it could have been like, if she saw her coming, she could have tried to kick her out or tried to, like, you know, shoo her away. But she, you know, and it could be a setup by the ref too. He might have counted. I have to look back now and see how slow he counted. I'm just saying. Because Emily is the governor's daughter. So things can get paid for it. So a lot of things happening.
But yeah, you know, Abilene winning this one, and David talking to Abilene after. He even had the kids mad. Did you see the kid? They zoomed in on a kid. I was like, not the kids. And Abilene calling the audience mid. I was like, she's wild.
She called the audience mid, and she called the WoW roster mid, which I wouldn't say that they're mid, but I would say that, I don't know, I have to see the numbers. I want to say there's way more new people than there are people who've been around within the WoW universe. We're not talking like indies and stuff like that. So, you know, bringing the OGs out like Abilene, it would have been crazy if we did an interview with Jungle Girl, and like if you guys like back in the day, it would have been crazy if she came out, but she wouldn't have cheated. She wouldn't want him to go. So there's that idea. But yeah, it was a nice surprise because now it throws a kink in what happens next. So like this would have been a great button to start season. Where are we? Season 2, season 3,
4
season. This is season 2. So this would be a good thing to start season 3 with. I know they do it in season. I don't know if we have a couple more before we hit season 3, but it's a nice button to stop on. However, with that being said, I'm now really curious to see where this is all going to go. Like, is Abilene going to start her friendship with Lana again? Does that play a role in the Fab Four? Or is she just going to be like solo dolo out there in the streets? Is Beast going to attack her randomly? Is Vicky going to attack her randomly? And then also, speaking of Vicky, a different Vicky, because you're wearing the Eddie Guerrero shirt. Abilene Maverick, did you get that hint of Vicky Guerrero when she took the mic from David?
Yeah, like the screaming and the telling the audience to be quiet, the tantrum-ish, the slight tantrum.
Like, wait a minute, I know where this is coming from. So yeah, she did a great job.
She did a great job for what she was supposed to do, and she did what she was supposed to do.
Did what she's. I mean, like, if anything, they should be the crowd should really be hating David. I'm just
not us promoting the.
I'm just saying.
There's gonna be next week. There's gonna be signs against David.
I'm just David. Saying, who's making the decisions? Like, he knew what he was doing, and so here's the question: if Abilene didn't come in, and I think I already know your answer. If they didn't have a secret 5th competitor, and it was just the 4 ladies, who would you have had winning?
I mean, it's not too tough for me. It would be Beast between Beast and Tormenta for different reasons. Between Beast and Tormenta for me, one, because Beast is the Beast. Tormenta, I mean, because I watch her at Lucha Libre, so I've seen her more like in just different. Impact, by the way? She was on Impact, so stay tuned for the Impact post show.
Thought so. I was like, wait a minute.
Yes, she was wrestled our good sis Trinity. But that's for the post show, so stay tuned.
Yeah,
it would have been between them two, but I think in Beast, because no beef.
Yeah, like I said, I would have just for I feel like it's when you want something and you have it, you kind of want to hold on to it for a little bit longer. It just seemed like Princess Aussie was definitely fighting for that championship.
Yeah, and she deserved to have it. I mean,
And she
it wasn't
deserved to have it.
unearned. I was like,
Yeah.
you are a deserving champ for sure.
Yeah, she was a fighting champ, and you could just kind of see it in her eyes that it's like, this is she wants this. So part of me wanted her to retain, because then it's almost like a David and Goliath type thing. It's like, not only because you could partly blame David, but you can also partly blame Princess Aussie.
I'm all for blaming David.
She's like, I'll do whatever. I'm gonna fight. Throw in whatever, and I'll fight. So the fact that she's willing to do that's one thing. She took on every challenge, every challenger. People who, like when Penelope said, it was stolen from me. It's like, hey, we can go at it. She went up against Tormenta. All the things. It's actually kind of funny that I probably would have wanted to see her do a match with the Beast before she had this fourth match. But I digress. I feel like I think I kind of wanted Princess Aussie to retain, because it would have been like, how cool is that? She starts off like starting everything. She goes through everything. Even this cheater newbie, not so newbie person comes in that, obviously handpicked by David, and I'm still going to be on top. I think that would have been a great story. However, if that were the case, then what? Well, then she could have went against Adriana and Candy Crush, and because started all over. So then that would have brought us to like mid-February. I would have taken that. I think now that I've played it out in my head, I think Princess Aussie would have been my pick to win. Just the whole, because you do taking it out of the WoW world and just seeing like, knowing that a lot of kids watch this, it's cool to see like, look, the odds are stacked up against
perseverance. Ooh, I just shook the table.
Yeah. See? So you felt it. So that would have been my pick. But nonetheless, with my monologue of going through my mind as far as how this would all play out, it did not play out. We have Abilene Maverick as the champion.
As the champion.
The champion. I was like, why are they sending me something? I want to. We did a pic of that, so I should have had it in the notes for you guys, but we did no such thing. But she is the champion. What do you think is next for her?
I know she should probably watch her back, because I know there's a lot of upset people backstage. I'm excited to see like what's next. I want to see what she's gonna do from here. Is there new alliances, unlikely alliances? Maybe this is a whole new avenue that we're going. So I'm excited now to see where David's gonna take us.
That part. Where are you gonna take us, David? With that being said, that brings us to the end.
That was really close to
trying something new. I know it is. It is a little close. Trying something new. But that brings us to the end of season 2, episode 13, the championship challenge.
Just sweat off my brow.
I'm really kind of glad that they're not ending it. I'm glad that there's going to be another episode and another episode, because I hate waiting. Like, you hate when you get those shows where it's like, oh, that's season 13, you have to wait 6 months to a year.
Oh yeah, no, I wait until the whole thing is done for 10 years, and then I watch it. So I do with Grey's Anatomy. I was done till started watching until it was done.
Is Grey's Anatomy done yet?
It's actually still going. But I didn't start watching it until like a couple of years ago.
Gotcha. I started and I stopped. And also, fun fact, I was actually in an episode.
Were you? What'd you do?
Yeah, I was in 2 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. I didn't
Were
do
you a
nothing,
patient?
obviously. Yeah.
Were you a
Didn't do
patient?
anything. I was a patient. And this was when McDreamy and what's
I was
her
gonna say,
name?
were you there with McSteamy and McDreamy?
I was a
Michael?
patient for I was patient for it with McDreamy and what's his Gray. They were both standing over me as I was a patient. Oh,
Meredith?
Yeah, Meredith. I might as well tell this story because we're now all the way in before we end the show.
I'm invested.
So, I was a patient, and so I did a lot of background work for a lot of different shows and stuff like that. And what they tell you, especially for these big shows, don't talk to talent. Because everybody who's like a background's always trying to, get on, become an actor. I wasn't trying to become an actor. I was just making extra cash. So I was told, like, don't talk to the talent. Don't talk to the talent. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm sitting in this bed. And so I'm like, McDreamy and Meredith, they're like over me, but they're setting up the background and all that stuff. So I'm like, this is awkward. Like, because I'm just like laying on the thing. And I'm just like, and so he says hi, and I'm like, oh shit, do I talk? Do I not talk? I don't know.
This was a test. They were testing
it was
you.
a test. And then Meredith, so he was on one side, Meredith was on the other side, and apparently she had to go to like some type of dinner. So she had this ball ground underneath her thing that you couldn't see. And so they were talking to each other. Then he talked to me, and I'm like, he's like, it's okay, you can talk. We know. And it's like, okay, well, I'm fine. Like it was hilarious. I think I was on that set like 2 times I can remember. I want to say 3, but those 2 I believe I like obviously made it on camera and stuff like that. So that's my Grey's Anatomy story. Anyways, sorry y'all. Now you know.
We have a star here.
Not even close. Not even close. If there was like 10 levels below Z, that's where I'd be. But with that being said, Christina, where can everybody find you?
They can have me. They can find me. Family friendly show. They can find me on Instagram at CHRzate, on the Bird app, formerly known as Twitter, possibly known as X, as CH_Arzate. I'm waiting until CHRzate is like not in, like the other person changes it. So I could just have the same handle for everything.
We'll see.
But yes, live from the People's Dining Room yet again.
There it is. You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. Make sure you check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Check out our merch also at www.talkpod.com. We have an interview dropping tomorrow on Fight TV. You can check that out. We also have our news happening today at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and so many other things coming about. So make sure you follow us on everything, everywhere at www.talkpod. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Till next time, guys. Ciao.